start out today in child's pose. So if you want to come onto hands and knees, and then just take your time to ease yourself in. Taking knees a little wider, easing hips down towards the heels, forehead down towards the mat, and finding your pause here. Just begin to settle your body. Notice whatever you're feeling this morning, and just honor that. You observe without any judgment or color. How are you feeling? This is going to be an hour-long core class. I'm going to go through all the classic core poses, working on the front body, the side, and the back body. Just allow your breath to deepen here. We're going to just take a few more breaths. Arriving in this moment right here on the mat. Think about letting go with each exhale. Last day of 2025. So you can release whatever you like to in this moment, creating room, space for the year ahead, and whatever you wish that to be. And take one more breath. And then next inhale, let's begin to lift up onto hands and knees. We'll find our tabletop shape. And from here, we're going to start with some circles. We can reach right hip towards the right knee, sweep the hips behind, over to the left, around, and just swirl this out. You can always take your hands a little further forwards if that feels good. Just follow the intuitive movement of your body. Go one more circle this way, and then we're just going to pause and reverse it out. Go one more circle this way. And then slowing it down, find a pause. We'll walk the wrists under the shoulders if we move them away. And then a few rounds of cat and cow here as you're ready. Just inhaling to drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone, and exhaling to round. Feel free to add any extra little movements or pause in one of the two shapes a little bit longer if you like. And we'll go one more time. And then just coming to stillness. And then from here, we're going to take the hands forward just about a palm's width distance. We're going to come up into a quick downward facing dog here. We'll tuck the toes. We're going to send the hips up and back, finding our downward facing dog, and then just walking the dog, bending one knee, straightening the opposite leg. We're just going to go side to side a few times. And take a moment to just feel that press down through the palms and think about shifting your hips up and back towards the wall behind. And then let's come to stillness. And we're going to tap the knees back down to the mat. We'll find our tabletop again. And this time we're going to step the right foot straight back. We're going to start with a little bird dog here. So next inhale, we're going to lift up right leg, left arm. We'll see if we can lift up as one and lengthen back through the right heel, reach forwards through the left fingertips. Keep belly button engaged in. And then we're going to add some crunches here. We'll take an inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to draw left elbow, right knee together. Inhale to lengthen out. Exhale to crunch. And we're going to do this with our little countdown here. So we'll go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to lengthen back out, and this time we're just going to pause and hold. We'll take 3 breaths here, lengthening out again. Feel that stretch across the front of that right hip. And then let's set everything down, tabletop. We'll step the left foot straight back, lengthening out through the heel. We're going to float everything up, left foot, right arm, belly button engaged in. Take a moment just to feel this shape. Then we add our crunches, inhaling and exhaling to draw right elbow, left knee together, inhaling to lengthen out, exhaling to crunch. And now we'll add our little countdown, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen. Let's set everything down, tabletop and a child's pose. We can take knees a little wider, ease hips down towards the heels, and take a rest for 2, maybe 3 breaths. Observe your body. Let go with each exhale. Just release. Next inhale, we'll rise back up onto hands and knees, tabletop. This time we're going to step the right foot straight back. We'll kickstand the left foot out to the side. We're going to roll that top hip open towards the ceiling, our side plank. And the right fingertips are going to lengthen up towards the ceiling, creating lift and length out of that bottom palm. Let's float the right leg up. You can lift up any amount. Of course, the right foot can always set back down. We're going to see if we can lift up to hip height, engage out through that right heel. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll set that right foot down. Take everything back down to the mat, tabletop, but take your time. And then from here, we'll step left foot straight back, kickstanding right foot out to the side, rolling open towards that long edge, finding our kneeling side plank, creating that lift up through the top fingertips, and then floating the left leg up any amount. See how that feels in the body. Think about lengthening crown of the head forwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll set that left foot down. We're going to bring left hand down to the mat. Bring everything back in, tabletop. And then from here, let's tuck the toes under. We'll take, well, hands forwards just a little bit. We're going to take another downward facing dog. This time, maybe we just settle into stillness. Feet about hips width distance apart. Palms shoulder width distance apart. And then we're just going to bend deeply into both knees here. We can let the hips sink down. And then as we inhale, we're going to reach the hips back up, straightening back out through the legs. And then we can crouch our down dog, straighten back out through the legs, reaching the hips up and back. We'll do this just a couple more times. You know, just bending deeply, straightening back out. And then let's pause in downward facing dog. This time we're going to inhale up onto the balls of the feet. As we exhale, we'll ripple forward into a plank pose. So the shoulders are going to rock over the wrists. We'll bring the hips in line with the rest of the body. Belly button is engaged in. From here, you can drop your knees down first. We're going to take it to forearm plank. So either knees come down first or we just drop right forearm down, left forearm down. And we're going to make sure that we've got elbows underneath the shoulders. If the knees are down, they can stay down, or we can lift back up again. And just gazing right in between the palms, belly button engaged up and in. This is going to be one where we're going to do our countdown for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll drop the knees down, untuck the toes, shift hips down, belly down, a Sphinx pose. And then from here, letting your belly just drop, lengthening all the way up the spine so you feel that stretch across the abdominals. We can create even more length by pressing the palms down, the forearms down to lift the chest. And then we're gonna lower down. You can overlap your palms, rest on one cheek. We'll bend into the knees and just take a nice little windshield wiper. Swish side to side. And then we can come to stillness. We'll let the feet come down. Now we'll bend just into the right knee. We're gonna reach the right heel in nice and close. Think about spinning your right inner thigh up towards the ceiling. We're gonna reach the right arm back, grabbing onto that right foot. We're gonna continue to spin the right inner thigh up towards the ceiling. Think about lengthening your tailbone back, lifting your frontal hip points in towards the low ribs. And then in keeping all of this, if we can just reach that right heel in any amount more. So we're getting a stretch for the front of the right thigh, the quadricep, a little bit maybe into the hip flexor. And then we can slowly begin to release that right foot. Let that right leg land. Bring the right arm up. And this time we're going to bend into the left knee. And we'll just hug that left heel in using the muscles of the leg. Then reaching left arm back. Grabbing on wherever we can, foot, ankle. And then just reaching that left heel in. But remember, we're going to spin that left inner thigh up towards the ceiling. That's going to roll the front of the left thigh down towards the mat. We're going to lengthen the tailbone towards the heels, lifting the frontal hip points in. And then we're going to just release, letting that left foot come down softly. We'll bring the left arm up, pause for a moment. And then we'll take the hands down alongside the low ribs. We're going to press down through the palms as you inhale, pressing up through tabletop. And we'll just tuck the toes, send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Give it a moment to lengthen out. Maybe just stillness here, or walk your dog a few times. It's up to you. Make sure you are just present in every part of your body here. And then we're going to add on from this shape. So steadying down through both palms. We're going to take an inhale, reach the right leg up and back. Bend into the right knee. We're going to draw the right knee forwards and in towards the chest as we rock forwards, a plank crunch. We're going to inhale, reaching the right leg up and back again, lengthening out through the right heel. Exhale, we're going to crunch forward, drawing that right knee into the chest. 2 more times. Crunch it in 1 more time. Crunch it in. We're going to gaze in between the palms. We'll step the right foot through. Once we get our right knee up there, we're going to let the hips settle. Hands can always be to blocks here. That right knee's right over the ankle. We're gazing forwards. All right, pausing. We'll take 1 more breath here. Then we're going to slowly begin to rise our way up. Make sure you're steady in your feet. Feet are about hips width distance apart. We can always come up, bringing hands to that front leg. And then sweeping the arms up as we're ready here. So we've got our high crescent lunge. We want to make sure that we're steady and stable. Hips facing up towards the top. And a little bend in that back knee to start. Fingertips reaching up. Now we're going to take a little bit of movement here. As we inhale, we'll reach up. As we exhale, we're going to take a little dip, reaching our elbows back. Inhaling to reach up. Exhaling to draw elbows back, little dip. We'll go 10, 9. This might be a lot. 8, so don't go super low unless you want to. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to reach up. From here, we're going to keep the spine long. We're just going to hinge forwards about 45 degrees. Think about keeping your arms, your torso in a line. We're reaching out through the fingertips. We're gazing down. Now we're going to step it up into a chair pose. So think about keeping your hips low. Big step up left foot. Keeping the hips low, we land right in our chair pose. And we're going to let the hips settle. Keep belly button engaged. In this first one, let's just hold for 5 breaths here. You're going to listen to your body, feel the shape. Make sure there's no tension or strain in the low back. We're engaging belly button in. And then we're going to fold. We're going to let that one go. Take an inhale to half lift, straightening into your legs, long spine. Exhale to fold in. Next inhale, we'll rise all the way up. We're going to sweep the arms up. Exhale the arms down. And then inhale to reach up. Exhale, we'll fold in. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. We'll plant the hands. We're going to step it back to plank. Now this time, maybe we tap the knees down. We untuck the toes, lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale, we're going to find our baby cobra. Keep elbows hugging in. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, we'll press up through tabletop. Tuck the toes. Send the hips up and back. Pausing in our downward facing dog for about 4 breaths. Remember, rest if you need to. Always be listening to your body. Now next inhale, we're going to lift the left leg up and back. 3-legged dog. We'll bend into the left knee. We're going to draw the left knee forwards and in towards the chest. Our plank crunch. Inhaling to lift back up, lengthening out. Exhaling to crunch. 2 more. Last one. We're going to crunch and pause, gazing in between the palms. Left foot steps through. Once we get that left foot forwards, we're going to lift that back knee. Let's make sure that we've got the feet about hips width distance apart. Left knee over the ankle. We could have hands to blocks here. Blocks just give us a little extra height. We're already just lifted up a little bit. We know where we're going. We're going to steady down through the feet. Rise our way up to our high lunge. Remember, once you come up, you don't ever have to commit right away. You just make sure everything feels good. Make your little adjustments. And then we settle. So we can bend into that front knee. We can make sure our hips are forwards, belly button's engaged in. Fingertips are reaching up. And then we're going to add our dynamic movement here, taking an inhale. As we exhale, we're dipping that right knee, reaching elbows back. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to dip. All right. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we lift. We pause, make sure belly button's engaged in. Think about reaching frontal hip points in towards the low ribs. And we're going to keep all that. Lengthen the spine, just hinging right at the hips, about 45 degrees. And we're just going to pause here, see how this feels in your legs, in your spine, gazing down. And we know we're lifting, we're rising. What am I trying to say? Stepping up into chair pose. So bouncing that back foot, step the right foot up, keep the hips low. Our chair. This chair, we're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, maybe letting the hips settle. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fold in, let that go. An inhale to half lift. An exhale to fold. An inhale to rise, arms up alongside the ears. Exhaling, arms down by the sides. And let's inhale to reach up. All right, this is gonna be fun here. So our extended mountain pose. And then we're gonna steady into the left foot. We're gonna lighten up onto the right toes. We're gonna float that right foot up. Any amount, keep your gaze steady. And then we're gonna hinge forward. We're gonna sweep the arms back. We can tap the right toes down or you can hover here. And then we're gonna inhale to lift back up. We'll reach the arms up. Exhale, we're gonna hinge. Tap the right toes behind or hover. Inhale to lift. Exhale, maybe we hover. You're gonna just play for your edge here. It could be toes tapping down. It could be hovering. It could be hovering a little bit more each time. Maybe we're working towards our warrior three. And you don't have to move quickly. You can move slowly, feeling the whole arc of the movement. All right. Next time that we reach that right knee forwards, we're gonna lift up. And then we're gonna slowly hinge. We're gonna lengthen back through that right heel. We're gonna lift that right heel up any amount. This time we're just gonna hold. So our warrior three, best it's gonna be in this moment. Hands can always come down to blocks. And then we're gonna see if we can keep the hips level, lengthening crown of the head forwards. And then from our warrior three, we're gonna tap the right toes down. So we'll land the right toes. We're gonna find our high lunge. You can always wiggle those right toes back a little bit. We'll sweep the arms up as we're ready. And then from here, take an inhale. As you exhale, begin to rotate belly, ribs, and chest towards the left. We're gonna open the arms wide. Think about reaching those left ribs back. Right ribs forwards. Think about lengthening fingertip to fingertip. We're gonna gaze down towards the mat. We're gonna take the right hand, drop the right hand down. Left arm's gonna reach up so we land in our runner's twist. That bottom hand can come right to a block. And then we're just gonna let the hips settle here. Think about lengthening crown of the head forwards. Keep reaching up through the left fingertips, creating length up away from that bottom palm. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna take the left hand down to the mat, gazing forwards. Big step up, right foot. And inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to sweep arms around and up. Exhale, arms down by the sides. Then we're gonna inhale, reaching arms up alongside the ears. Steady down through that right foot. Lighten up onto the left toes. Create that connection. Then we're just floating that left knee up any amount. And we're gonna hinge forward, sweeping arms back as we lengthen out through the left toes. And then inhaling, we can come forwards. Remember, we can tap the toes down or we can hover. We can play around with maybe hovering a little higher each time. But wherever you are, you're just gonna work there at your edge. We don't have to force that edge to be any different than what it actually is. Sometimes we aren't really listening. Maybe the mind is directing us rather than that intuition of the body. Now, next time that we reach that left knee forwards and up, we're gonna pause, get real steady. This time we're gonna hinge forward. We're gonna sweep that left foot back, sweep the arms back, and we're just gonna pause. Finding our warrior three shape, what it's gonna be today. That could be hands down to blocks. We're gonna just think about lengthening crown of the head forwards, keep scooping belly button in, keep that right leg nice and strong. And then we're gonna tap the left toes down behind us. We'll land in our lunge. Remember, we don't have to commit right away. We wanna make sure that we feel good where we are. Feet about hips width distance apart. Right knee over the ankle. Little bend in that back knee. We're gonna Reach the arms up alongside the ears, finding our steadiness, gazing forwards. And then take an inhale. As you exhale, rotate right this time, belly, ribs, chest. We're gonna reach the arms wide, keep the hips settling down, keep crown of the head reaching up. And then let's shift the gaze down. We're gonna drop left hand down, right arm's gonna reach up. We're gonna land right in our runner's twist. Remember, if we don't land exactly how we wanna be, we bring ourselves there. We're gonna commit this time. We're gonna pause here. Right fingertips reaching up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower right hand down. We're gonna pause, gaze forwards, big step up. Inhaling to half lift, exhaling to fold. Inhale, we'll sweep arms around and up. Exhale, arms down by the side. Let's inhale to reach up. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. We're going to plant the hands, step both feet back, plank pose. Wrists right under the shoulders. Hips in line with the rest of the body. Now from here, we're going to step the feet closer together. Big toes touching. Feet right beside one another. We're gazing down. We're going to take this into our side plank. We'll rock the right hip down, lifting the left hip up, sending that weight into the bottom palm. Make sure you feel steady. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Remember the option to just bend into that bottom knee, finding our kneeling side plank. We're going to rainbow the bottom hip up. We're going to create length up through the top fingertips. We're just going to hold this one for 3, 2, 1. Lowering top hand down. Coming back through center. We're going to rock back onto the balls of the feet. This time we're going to rock onto the outer edge of the left foot, letting the right hip spin up. Reaching right arm up towards the ceiling. Shoulders are stacking here. We're going to press down through the bottom palm. Rainbow the bottom hip up. Reach up through the top fingertips. 3, 2, 1. Gazing down, taking top hand down to the mat. We're going to drop knees down this time. Shift forwards, lower all the way down to your belly. From here, we'll bring the palms forwards, overlapping the palms. Rest on one cheek, maybe bending into the knees, a little windshield wiper. And then let's come to stillness. We'll lower the feet down. We're going to bring the chin to center, bring the arms up alongside the ears. So we're in that extended mountain pose shape, but on our belly. Straightening into the arms any amount. Anytime that we have the arms up alongside the ears, they can always be a little bit wider if this is feeling pinchy in your shoulders. So arms straightening, fingertips reaching forwards, chin to center. We're going to take a moment to feel the hips here. Make sure your hips are even on the mat. Think about lengthening your tailbone down towards the heels, lifting your frontal hip points in. And then as we inhale, we're going to lift up right arm, left leg, head, neck, and chest. We're going to alternate here. Exhale, we'll lower down. Inhale, we'll lift. Opposite arm and leg, and you can be lifting your head, your chest here, or you can keep your head down. The main thing, just crisscrossing. Now, the song is all about freedom here. So you're just gonna go, feel that shape, find your movement, keep it going. Staying present the whole while. We're not gonna count. We're just gonna keep going, observing any changes in the body over time. Keep maybe finding a little beat to the music. But we're just gonna go one more time, side to side. And then coming down, resting everything. Bend into your elbows. Again, make that little pillow for the head, maybe resting on one cheek. Maybe we just pause in stillness here. All right, and then we're gonna bring the chin back through center. One more time, we're gonna reach the arms up alongside the ears. Now this time, we're not gonna go into our full, like our traditional locust pose here. We're gonna actually keep the legs and the feet down on the mat, the hips down on the mat. And as we inhale, we're gonna lift up head, neck, chest, and arms. So we're gonna just see how this feels to start. You can steady down through your belly, steady down through your pelvis. And then we're gonna make sure our palms are facing down. We're gonna reach the elbows wide, drawing the elbows back, and then reaching the arms up alongside the ears, reaching elbows wide, reaching the arms long. And we'll just do this one. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna lengthen neck out, set everything down. Again, we can bend into the arms, maybe rest opposite cheek. And then from here, we're gonna bring the hands down alongside the low ribs. We'll hug elbows in. And as you inhale, begin to press up through tabletop. And from our tabletop, let's take a child's pose. Knees a little wider, big toes to touch, ease hips down towards the heels. We'll do a little bit of a stretch out here. Start by just letting your low back lengthen, letting your hips settle, feeling that opening into the hips. And then we'll take an inhale. As we exhale, let's walk the hands over to the right. We'll fold in over that right side. Just relax your neck here, soften your shoulders. And then let's just walk both hands back through center. As you exhale, walk the hands left. We'll fold in over that left side, settle in. Come back through center. We'll find a pause. And then from here, next inhale, let's begin to rise back up onto hands and knees. Now from here, we're gonna take this into a forearm side plank. So I think it's easier. We'll just start by coming down onto the right forearm, and we're gonna just come onto our right hip here. We can keep the knees bent. So we're kind of in the side lying position here, but we're gonna be on our right forearm, so the elbows underneath that right shoulder. And then we can take the left hand up to that left hip. We're gonna think about actually reaching our knees back. So they're more in line with the hips. So when we first come forwards, the knees are gonna be forwards, but we'll reach the knees back as much as we can so our body's kind of in a long line. And then from here, we're gonna rainbow the bottom hip up. And you just wanna make sure that this feels okay here. We're gonna squeeze that bottom hip up and in. We're gonna press down through the bottom forearm, that top hands to the hip. And then from here, we're gonna add on just a little bit. We're gonna take a clamshell, opening that left hip up, left knee reaching up towards the ceiling. We'll close it back down. Now we're gonna open that left hip back up, close it back down. Option to pause at any point, or we're gonna do our countdown for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll lower that left knee down. We'll set that right hip down if it's lifted. Let's just straighten the legs out. We're gonna roll back down onto the front side of our body, and we'll take it over to the opposite side. So we can roll onto our left hip. We'll bend into the knees. We're just gonna make sure we've got that left elbow under the shoulder. Knees are bent. We'll work towards kind of reaching the knees back a little bit more in line with the rest of the body, and we can take right hand to the hip. And then we're gonna start by just rainbowing that bottom hip up. Rainbowing, creating a squeeze of that bottom side waist up and in as we press down through the bottom forearm. And then if we're adding on here, remember, we can always set the hips down at any point. We're going to add on those clamshells, opening, closing that top hip. We'll see if we can keep our hips steady and stable here. Just create that opening from the right hip only. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll let that right knee come down. Let that bottom hip come down. Straighten out into the legs. We'll roll back down onto our belly. And again, we're going to take a rest here. Just overlap your palms. You can rest chin to center. Let your hips settle. Let your shoulders settle. And just taking a nice big inhale and a deep exhale out. Release. Let's do that 2 more times. Just inhaling and a big release, an audible exhale out the mouth. And 1 more time. And then let's come back up into our Sphinx pose. We're going to lift back up onto our forearms. And just making sure that we have everything lined up. Hips are settling, softening. We've got that length in the spine. And we're going to close the eyes here. Close the eyes. And then we're going to take a really nice just release of tension. We're going to really let it go with 3 rounds of lion's breath. So we're going to take an inhale in, and as we exhale, we're going to stick the tongue out, open the mouth wide. And then an inhale in, tongue comes out. You can roll your eyes up. 1 more time. And we'll just release. We can lower back down. We'll walk hands down alongside the low ribs. And then this next time, let's just press into the palms. As we inhale, we'll rise. Coming onto hands and knees. And then we're going to scoot the feet around, draw the legs out in front. And we're going to find ourselves a seat. But we're still going to do a little more core work here. So we don't need to bring our hips onto anything just yet. We're going to start with our big toes touching and our heels spread slightly. And then taking the hands behind the legs, we're going to find a tall spine. Just take a moment here. Feel your spine, tuck belly button in. Nothing's going to change with that sensation. We're just leaning back, keeping that length. At the same time, we can let the feet lighten. We can float the feet up. So we've got our boat pose. We can release hands from behind the knees, fingertips reaching forwards. You can do whatever you like with your toes here. Maybe pointing the toes, maybe flexing the feet. Sometimes a little point and just flexing the toes, like Barbie toes here. That could feel nice. We'll hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set your feet down. Give yourself a little hug. And then 1 more time, let's set ourselves up for our boat pose. Finding our tall spine, leaning back, reaching the feet up, but know that at any point you can also set your feet down for this next one. We're going to add a twist in here. We'll reach the arms forward. So you can always do this with feet down. Just remember that. We're going to take an inhale. As we exhale, we're rotating belly, ribs, and chest towards the right. We'll keep the arms shoulder width distance apart. And then we're going to come back through center. Exhale, we're going to rotate left. Inhale back through center. Exhale, we'll rotate right. Inhale back through center. Exhale, rotate left. We'll do it 2 more times. Just go on your own. Remember to just keep your mind free and clear. Just stay present in what you're feeling here. And let's come back through center. Set the feet down. Give yourself a hug. And then from here, we'll lift the head back up. We're going to take the feet wide, maybe outer edges of the mat, a little windshield wiper. We've got to get a little bit more movement into the hips. Maybe one more time, either side. And then we'll bring the knees up. We're going to heel toe the feet in. We can grab a block. We're going to make sure we have a block handy to bring down with us just in case. And then we'll come down onto our backs. Take your time. Come all the way down. And then from here, well, let's see what we're going to do first. We're going to tuck the knees into the chest and give yourself a squeeze, maybe a few little rocks side to side. All right, just a little bit more for the abdominals here. We're going to come to stillness. We're going to straighten the legs out, reaching feet up towards the ceiling, but just straightening the legs out any amount that you are comfortable with in your body. And then I always find it feels nice here to make a little shelf with the hands. You can slide the palms underneath the tailbone, or you can just rest the arms down by the sides. And we're going to keep the legs together here. We're going to keep belly button engaged in towards the spine. So you're going to think about reaching your frontal hip points in towards the low ribs in towards the frontal hip points. And then we're just going to pick a direction and we're going to start to make some circles with the legs, keeping the legs together. And you get to decide how big these circles are. You could start off small, you can get bigger. Slow and steady, feeling the whole arc of the movement all the way around. And then let's pause and just take those circles the opposite direction. The larger they are, the more spicy it's going to be, more challenge. Also, slowing it down creates challenge. Let's slowly begin to make the circles smaller until we're going to come to stillness. And then let's just bend into the knees and hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. We'll take a little rest there for a moment. And then we're going to straighten back out into the legs. We'll find that same shape. So if you want to, again, pat underneath the tailbone, you can scoot the hands under. Actually, what am I saying? No, we're going to take the hands out. We're going to keep belly button engaged in, and we're actually going to take the hands back behind the head. Taking the hands back behind the head, but keeping that bind nice and loose. Belly button tucking in. We're going to hook the right ankle over the left ankle. If at any point this is too much on the legs, you can bend into the knees, but we're going to add some crunches in here. So we'll take an inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to lift up head, neck, and chest. We're going to round in towards the legs. Inhale to lower. Exhale to round, not straining into the neck. We'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, lifting shoulders all the way up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll lower the head down. Let's uncross the legs. Again, just tuck your knees into your chest. We'll take a break, have a breath or two here. Straightening back out into the legs. Last round. This time we're going to hook left ankle over the right. Hands behind the head. Just straightening the legs any amount, but we can always relax the legs as well. Inhale, and as we exhale, we'll lift up. Inhale to lower down. Present in the movement. The sensation for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're gonna release, uncross the legs, tuck your knees back in, let everything soften, your shoulders, your neck, your spine, maybe rocking if that feels good. And we'll set the feet down. One more thing that we haven't done here that is a great stretch out for the front body and a strengthener for the back body, our bridge pose. We're gonna grab our block. We'll do this one with the block, placing the block in between the legs, wherever you can hold on to it, keeping the legs parallel. So we want our hips, our knees parallel, and we're lightly squeezing the block. And take a moment to feel your feet here, steadying evenly into both feet, arms down by the sides. And then as you inhale, slight tuck of the tailbone, we're gonna curl the spine up off the mat, coming maybe all the way to the backs of the shoulders. Feel that squeeze of the inner thighs to hold on to the block here. It's a really light hold though. We're pressing into our heels to rainbow the hips up. We're steadying into the backs of the arms, finding the breath. We'll go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Let your hips come down. We'll take that block out. Just let the knees kind of rock in towards one another. And then let's tee the arms out to the side. We'll step feet wide. Again, we're going to take a windshield wiper here, side to side. And then we'll come to stillness. We're going to bring knees back up through center. We'll heel toe the feet back in. Give yourself a squeeze, wrapping knees in towards the chest. And then we'll take one hand to either knee. We're going to just spread the knees apart. See if you can keep your feet together here. A lifted bound angle pose. This is all just taking the knees wide so we have this diamond shape. Feel into your hips here. And then we're going to slide arms inside of the legs. We'll reach hands for the feet as we reach the feet up towards the ceiling for happy baby. But you don't have to grab onto the feet. It could be feet, ankles. It could even be behind the thighs. We're just going to work towards drawing the feet wide, hugging the knees in, softening shoulders and head down towards the mat. So even though we've got this bind with the hands, we're not creating any straining with the bind. Entirely relaxed, and you can rock back and forth a few times. Let's go. Come to stillness, and we can bring the feet together, bring the knees together, a squeeze. Then we're gonna set the feet down. And from here, we'll lift just the right foot up, and we're gonna hook that right knee over the right foot over the left knee, right ankle. So we've got our figure 4. Just feel that opening right hip as your right knee draws back in space. We're gonna tee the arms out. And then from here, we're gonna let that right foot drop over to the left, letting the right hip lift. So we find this twist. You can always place your bottom leg on a block or blanket or blocker under that bottom foot. And then we just settle here, letting the shoulders soften, the back body. Then from here, let's just slowly begin to lift back up, but take your time. We'll unhook that right ankle, set the right foot down. We're going to lift the left foot up, hooking that left ankle over the right knee, letting that left hip open. Just feel that left outer hip drawing down and under. We're going to keep that as we let the left foot drop over towards the right. Easing in, you're going to find your edge here, then soften in completely. Remember, you can always bring a prop in to help yourself find some more ease. Let's slowly begin to unwind this twist. Take your time. And we'll unwrap that left ankle. Let's just pause. And then just lowering your arms down by your side. Let's grab our block one last time. I'm going to take it up low, wide setting. Lift the hips up and scoot the block underneath. We'll pause in a supported bridge pose here. But you can also, if you feel like you want to go right into legs up the wall, go right into legs up the wall. I'm not going to hold you back. Whatever feels intuitive in your body. You can always stay in supported bridge pose, or we're coming up to legs up the wall. But slowly, and you're just listening to your body. What do you need in this moment? We've got two different inversions, slightly different offerings in each, but what does your body need? If you want more of a stretch for the hip flexors, we stay in our bridge. If we want a little bit more freedom and lightness in the feet and ankles, we can go legs up the wall. At any point, you can kind of go between the two. See if you can let your entire torso just be heavy, backs of your arms, your shoulders, no tension in your neck or your jaw. You can even, if you feel any strain in your jaw, just soften kind of the sides of the jaw, the hinges, let your tongue settle away from the roof of your mouth. You can even rock the jaw a little side to side. And then we're going to do one final countdown here. You're going to do this one internally. We're just going to take 10 more breaths. Each exhale, releasing out. And then as you're ready, just slowly begin to bring your feet back down. Let your feet land on the earth. And then we can lift the hips up, scoot the block out. And we are ready for Shavasana. So if there's any final movements you'd like to take, windshield wiper tucking into a ball, adding some layers, we will cool down. So make sure you're warm and comfortable. And then ease in completely. Maybe closing your eyes and just tuning out everything around you. Allowing your body to just be. And I thought this was a good quote for today. This comes from an anonymous source. This is, "Stop pushing the future into being with the force of your mind. Lean back into the arms of the world, the blessed lover you have been waiting for. Lean back and let the world love you through all of its many parts. Lean back, following the joy in your heart. Lean back, letting the breath of the trees fill your body. Let go of making it happen. The world has more resources and will respond in 1,000 ways you didn't know existed. Let go of form. The world has so many arms to hold you. Lean back, let go. The ride has just begun." Just begin to bring your awareness back into the space, into your body. Starting with some little wiggles, fingers and toes. Building your way up. Eventually, maybe taking a long stretch and just lengthening all the way out. Feeling your body. This moment in time as you are without wishing anything were different. And then just as you're ready, making your way over onto your right hand side, tucking up into the fetal position. Pausing there. And then slowly beginning to rise your way up to the seat. Find a comfortable seat. Maybe keeping eyes closed. Settling in. And then maybe we drop the chin down towards the chest and just rock the head a little side to side a few times. Just release any tension in your neck. Let's just come back through center and lift the chin back up. Next inhale, just circling arms around and up. Bringing palms to touch, and then just exhaling and slowly lowering the hands down through heart center, pausing here. If you'd like to join in the sound of Om, we're going to inhale together. Om. And the next inhale, just lift in your chest. As you exhale, bowing forwards. May you guys be happy. May you guys be healthy. May you live your lives with ease. And many blessings for the new year. Happy New Year. Namaste. 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 Happy New Year.